that's fine. Okay, so yeah, these are the basically the main points that we are going to discuss on this particular session today. So see, Gen AI is a very vast topic. It cannot be covered in just one session or in 1 hour. It it will span a couple of hours to just to understand what is this and how it came into picture and what are the components and how we can use it. What are the use cases? So probably something is better than nothing. So we should start, I think. So here are the agendas. So if you see the agenda, the points are evaluation of Gen AI, how Gen AI came into the picture from 2023. What are the components in the Gen AI? Then we always talk about Gen AI, right? So already we had machine language. So what is different from in the Gen AI? And one Gen AI use case is Chat GPT. We'll just look into what Chat GPT does. And see, when we say Gen AI, you already have came across many news, like some fake news or some videos are there which are fake. So there are opportunities as well as there are threats. And what all these are, we can have a discussion on this particular point. Then it's not that easy to use Gen AI, and like if you are using some kind of a programming language like Python or Java, like you can debug, right? You can debug from end to end. Like this is the variable, this is going into the variable. The variable is going to be decremented or incremented. But there is a concern in the Gen AI because then there is a black box inside of the Gen AI. I will come into that later. So there's one concern. So keeping that into the view, still Gen AI is the future, and definitely we should see the various ways we can adopt Gen AI in our day-to-day activities, in our projects, or maybe work on something uh, more creative. Then we have a discussion going on is that the Gen AI will eat our jobs. It's nothing like that. Definitely, whenever something new comes into the picture, definitely there are implications. When we started with computers, definitely there were some manual jobs which were taken over by the computers. And now when it is Gen AI, definitely there are some tasks, repetitive tasks, which can be automated. And we have already seen multiple automation ways that we have created or we are coming up, where the efforts are reduced from many man days to maybe some hours. But then having said that, there are other creative jobs opportunities are coming up with the Gen AI. And if you want to adopt the Gen AI, what are the technical feasibilities and the business feasibilities we should take into account? I will come up in that particular topic. So, I just want to understand. Yeah, Mahendra sir, your voice is very low.
Carry on. I will come later then. Once
Okay,
you will, before moving to next slide, I will come.
okay. So I just wanted to understand, like, from the audience, like, anybody has idea about Gen AI? Have they have gone through the Gen AI articles or any information so that I will understand, like, and I will try to pitch my discussion in that way so that um, it's more matured. Maybe means I will pitch my level to something more understandable or more easier to understand for everybody. So that's why I want to understand the audience maturity here. It's like I hope everybody has understood the Gen AI. What is Gen AI at least? Anybody can say something?
Yes, Jain. So, from my understanding, okay, so Gen AI is if you if you give some inputs, right, it will collect the data from the internet and that language models, large language models. They understand the language models what we ask, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it will generate the content which
Mm-hmm.
is not in the same. It will
Mm-hmm.
it will generate a different content what
Mhm.
is already there. It is a new one. So it will be a new one based on our
Mhm.
input, whatever we asked.
Yeah, yeah, we can say so, but there are other things as well. Okay, so I will come up with that. So when we say Gen AI, it's not that it's just started 2023 and is launched in 2023. It's going on for around 10, 15 years. Um, we already had when we say automation is artificial intelligence, right? When we automate something, we do uh, selenium test cases. So this is an automation, that is sorry, artificial intelligence. Then you are doing some kind of an predictive analysis. You have seen that in COVID time, the various graphs are coming up, like it was predicting the things, right? So these are machine learning. So these were it came up one by one, step by step. So I will come on to that, how it started and from where it started. So it's not that the Gen AI just started in just one single click, and it's you can say a certain burst of all the information. Is not like that. So it's a roadmap. So I will show you the roadmap. It's it. Can everybody can understand this, or it can is a little bit?
Mm,
Yeah, we are
looks
good,
okay. Yeah,
Jay.
we can. Now we can read.
I'm not able to understand from where I can increase the font. Or let me see.
We are good, Jayant. I think we
Is
should
good.
be good. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
It's readable. It's readable.
Okay. That's fine. So if you see this particular, you can say a flow, or you can say a workflow or steps. So what is AI actually? So we have been collecting the data for many years, right? We are collecting data from newspapers, articles, documents, our device logs, our server logs, our means whenever we click something on Amazon, there is log generated, like this particular user is doing something, right? These are all information. So these all data are generated, but we were not doing anything with this those data. um, the logs were there and we were not doing anything. So couple means maybe around 10, 15 years back, um, big data concept came up. What big data was trying to do is that it was accumulating the data from all the known sources or unknown sources wherever. uh, so it had was processing all this information and trying to understand or trying to come up with some kind of an, you can say, inference, like if I am pushing all my device data, and then the big data will, you can say, uh, consume all the information and then try to gather some kind of an meaning of the data. Like if then it maybe, for example, let's say I'm pushing the data from multiple data centers. For example, let's say it's a US East one, then there is a Frankfurt, then there is a Sydney. So I'm pushing all of my data into centralized data server, and then from the central data server I can see, I can, if there's a query which data center is the most having the most throughput or the most incoming data. So from the logs and from the structured information or from the unstructured information, I can gather, I can create my own Hadoop cluster. I can create my own queries in the Hive. Then I can filter out and give a sort of a presentation to the management, like what you understand, what you needed. This is the information that you're getting. Like if you're asking for some kind of an maximum throughput in which data center, this is the information. I can present it. I can present the data in some kind of a graph also. So you have heard about Power BI. Then AWS is using QuickSight. Then there are Tableaus are there. So these are all actually big data. Um, so um, so what we were generating before, we were not doing anything with those data. Now we are doing the information, and we getting some kind of an you can using the data to benefit for the company, or maybe benefit some kind of an creative more projects, or maybe more customized way of handling the customers, right? for example, let's say whenever you are getting into browser, the browser now understand like what you are going to see. So these are all information which is logs are collected and they are processed in the backend, and then they show you what you want to do. So it is actually enhancing your customer user experience. So with time, the algorithms came up, the modules of Python developed. So now we have machine learning. So what machine learning was doing? Machine learning, in big data analysis, we were creating some kind of an output. Like if you have a dumping in the data, we have an output. Like it's a map or it's a pie chart, things like that. Right now, the machine learning was the next step. Machine learning was that once if we have data from multiple sources and multiple zones, it was having massive amount of data. So what it started doing, it started predicting the things. Like it is then started to understand the way the data are coming. Then it created a pattern. It created a pattern because of development of more algorithms, more complex algorithms. It created a pattern, and then it tried to, based on hits and trials and experiments, it came up some kind of an, you can say, like a proof of concept, or maybe some kind of an proof. Like if we are pushing the data in this particular format and this massive amount, and for example, let's say you have the data for the past 10 years with the same amount of pattern of data that is coming in, I can predict for the next 5 years. So this was helping the company to understand what forthcoming things can come. It can predict the things. So based on those information, the companies um, uh, change their campaign, or maybe based on user experience, they created some new products. So this was the development of machine learning, and it's still being done, right? It's not that it's over. It's still being done, right? So with machine learning also, we have the NLP. If you have seen the insurance site or Make My Trip, you have this chatbots. In fact, in MySL also you have this chatbot where you ask questions. So what NLP is doing? NLP is, you can say, whatever you're typing in, it is segregating the words, and based on some patterns, it is looking for the answers in the database. And the database is the centralized database. It has all the information, right? So whenever you say that I want to book a ticket from Delhi to Chennai, then it will come up with that information from the database, and it will show you the train information, right? So that is NLP, right? So
So,
with
so,
with
Jayant, in NLP, only chatbots comes, or there are otherwise audio bots also, no, where they recognize the speech.
Right. So these are all different transformers, sir. Like the chatbots
Okay.
is text transformer, audio is as a, audio transformer. There's
Speech
different
recognition,
transformers.
correct.
Correct. Speech to text,
Uh,
text to speech. So whatever we're doing in a smart TV, this you are saying something to find the Google, and Google is doing, Alexa is doing the same thing.
hmm,
So these are all NLP. It's a byproduct of NLP advanced.
hmm,
So machine learning and NLP we're going on. So now in this particular, around maybe a couple of years back, maybe around 2020, Nvidia was a company which started the gaming servers, who created all the
hmm,
gaming servers. The gaming server CPUs are very, you can say, very tough. Means it can withstand cores and cores of processing at a single time. It
hmm,
multi cores, and it can handle massive amount of data. So with the advent of an Nvidia GPU, what uh, tech guys started thinking is that let's use deep learning. What is deep learning? Deep learning is says that it's sort of an, you can say, pattern, where we have a neural network, and the neural network is sort of a black box, which I was telling you, like how, for till what, you can say, stage we can debug the GenAI or not. So this neural network is a black box, right? So it has is already is standard algorithms. So with the advancement of GPUs, what happened is that the algorithms also got advanced, more complex and more advanced. So what this neural network does, neural network is sort of in brain, is like a human brain. So it collects the data from multiple sources, massive amount of data, and then it looks on some patterns. Okay, for example, let's say uh, I search for Delhi to Chennai. Okay, and somebody else search flight, somebody else search bus. So but it is segregating some patterns, like Delhi is one word, Chennai is one word, then there is a transport is one word. So what it will do, it will predict and it will suggest. Now the suggestions come into picture. From machine learning to NLP, it was prediction. Now suggestion came into picture, that you are suggesting something. What you can suggest, that it will suggest me like, Jayant, oh Jayant, you are asking for the train ticket from Delhi to Chennai. I am sorry, the train tickets are full. You can travel by flight. The flight tickets are maybe cheaper in this particular date. So it is it's actually looking for all the data from multiple sources. Then it is based on his own algorithm. It is creating a sort of a suggestion. Okay, so that suggestion is created by this neural network, and all this big data means it's not just deep learning is doing that. Deep learning is using the machine language. Deep learning using the big data, and is also NLP transformers. So it's doing everything. Now, so what we understand is that first it was the big data, then it was that prediction, that the machine learning NLP, then there was a suggestion that you started with deep learning. Now we have, like 2023, GPU also got more advanced. Okay, then we have the concept NLP has transformers already, but that now transformers were advanced with GAN. Now what is GAN?
Acha,
GAN is
acha,
actually,
Jayant, before that, Divyansu has raised hand. So Divyansu, do you have any question?
Yes, Mahendra. So, Jayant, we can talk in between, or how we are going forward.
yeah, sure.
So, as far as I understand, I just need your, bit of like input to understand this better. So, as far as I understand, when it comes to like big data, right, its nature is completely different. And when
Mm-hmm.
we talk about GenAI, that has a different nature. I mean, GenAI
Mm-hmm.
looks to be like more synthetic in nature.
Mm-hmm.
While when we talk about big data, it's bit descriptive in nature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how you see that both are like interlinked or related?
So, so Divyansu, I will answer to this. See, big data is data. Your whatever these we say Gen AI or ML or deep learning, right? It's top on that, top of on big data. If there is no data, right? If the large volume of data is known as big data, so everything is built on top of that. If there is no data, there is no technology like AI, ML, deep learning, whatever, Gen AI, whatever it is, right?
Okay, so
See, yeah, you can say, yeah, it's sort of in like a base, like means you're creating on top of one, of top of another, right? So big data, initially we have normal our servers, then the big data come where we have accumulated information from centralized. The concept of centralized server came into a picture, right? You have heard of central server in your project as well. Then on top of that, you use the machine learning. And then we have the NLP. On top of that, we have a deep learning, and on top of that, I was just trying to start with this Gen AI. How Gen AI came into picture now, right? So we
okay.
have seen we see in this particular in this diagram or flowchart, we see the transformers. Now, what is transformers? Transform is basically, you can say, means when we were using NLP is we are transforming things like from speech to text, or text to audio, or now because of GPU and more advanced algorithms, and with the advent of GAN. So I would want to stress about GAN. GAN is actually generative adversarial network. So what it will do, uh, deep learning with this neural networks creating a suggestion, right? Now, this GAN took the input from the deep learning and try to create its own. It was previously it was prediction, then suggestion. Now it is creating everything anew. It's creating a new picture. It's creating a new image. It's creating a new video based on the patterns that you are doing. For example, I give a photo. I give a photo of Mother Teresa, right? And then I put move the you can say move the hand of Mother Teresa twice up and down, and create a movie. So GEN with the transformer will will recognize the picture, will do the image classification. It will understand which is the hand, which is the head, right? Then it will try to use this pattern from the deep learning, and it will say that this from as of now the hand is, for example, let's say in the pointer 0 to 0x, right? I want to move into 0 to 0c. So if my hand is like this, it will move to to point B in this way. So it is using predicting the things, then it is creating the things. So because of GAN, right, and the advancement of GPU, uh, so Gen AI started blooming. So now what the tech guys started to doing? So tech guys saw that there is a big advantage now. We can create the things. Now we have a massive amount of data. Why not create a model? For example, let's say, I'm working in some kind of an legal firm, right? So when I'm doing a legal firm, there are thousands and thousands of use cases, maybe court cases, which are there in some books. Okay, so I am digitalizing them. Okay, and asking the gen or asking that deep learning to understand all the cases. The deep learning will go through all the cases. It will create a pattern. It will match the pattern. For example, there's a case in Chennai, there's a case in Kashmir, which are similar, and there the result is maybe different. So it will create a pattern. Now with this GAN, it will try to create a solution, or it will try to create a new solution for you, right? And then once the solution is there, it will load the solution into this model. It's sort of an, you can say, storage. You are training the model, right? Previously, what we were doing till now, we were not training the model. We were using the concepts and trying to get an output. Now we have the output with the through of GPU and GN. We have the output. Now we want to store the output in some kind of an, you can say, storage or vector database, whatever. So this model is being created. This is called a trained model, and there is another name for it that is called LLM or foundation model. Okay. Now you have heard about OpenAI. OpenAI is you can say a foundation. They have created this trained model, OpenAI. Then there are different LLMs are there. La Llama is there. Then there are specific to legal. There is you can say Glen is there. Harvey is there. Okay, so these are different LLMs. So LLMs, creating LLMs is not easy. It it needs massive, you can imagine, massive amount of data to be inputted, to be trained to this model, so that once we have the model ready, or you can see actually it's not ready. See, whenever we talk about trained model, it is not up to date, right? Because now I have, for example, let's say I'm creating my own LLM. I'm creating LLM from scratch, which is impossible to do so for an individual, because it needs trillions of money for to do that. But imagine I'm doing it. So I'm training the model till the news that I have till yesterday, right? So you have seen the news coming from OpenAI that they have updated their version, right? They have updated from a GPT, chat is GPT 3.0, GPT 4.0, GPT 4, 3.0 mini. So there are different versions are coming up. So different versions means they are having the latest updated data, the data, whatever. So that is more demand. So chat GPT, which is free to you, does not have the GPT latest version. The latest version will cost you. You need to pay the money for that, and for every response, you need a money. You need to have a money. So Chat GPT, which is available on your mobile, which you just download, it's because the model, which is the foundation model that is it is using, it's an old one. But we are good with that because now we have transformers. We can do many things. We can create songs, we can create pictures, we can create our own movie as well, right? So these are all foundation models, right? So now when we talk about OpenAI, what OpenAI did, OpenAI created this LLM model. Now what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is not an LLM model. It is an LLM app, or sorry, it's an GenAI app. Okay, when I say app is sort of an UI. Okay, so what you are saying in ChatGPT, it's just an UI. It is hitting the foundation model. Okay, you are getting me? Any questions?
Come again, Jayant, once.
I'm talking about trained models. That is the foundation models, right?
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI has created his own model. Then there are different companies. In fact, Elon Musk is also coming up with this company, LLM model. It is called Grok, GROQ, something like that. Yesterday there was a picture from of this one, Kamala Harris, and this Trump
Trump, right,
having
right,
their,
right.
yeah. So it is because because of this, Elon Musk has created this LLM model. So they have created this animation or image or whatever they wanted to say.
So in this OpenAI, he was not a part of this OpenAI.
No, sir. OpenAI. There is a person called Sam. Sam is there. I don't know the full name.
But
Uh,
earlier this the person that they like he was with the Elon Musk only. No,
No,
later
no, no.
on
What
there
happened?
was a.
Open A.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I will tell you, sir. OpenAI has that person Sam who created this. He is not created. He's actually put this idea and put in this Chat GPT. But he was fired from OpenAI last year.
Correct, correct.
So
No,
now
then now
that
again
guy
he
came into.
again now he's the chairman or CTO or CEO of again this company. Again he became, right,
I
the
think
same person.
I think now he's into Elon Musk company right now. I'm not sure, but he came to Elon Musk company. Now Elon Musk has his own LM model. Uh, mm, so things like that. So I was talking
So
that,
so
yeah,
Google's
yes, sir.
Bard is also based on this
Ye-
only, right?
Google Bard, yes, Gemini.
All
Google is creating Gemini LLM model.
Bard is also there.
Um, yeah, Bard is the
Uh,
interface. Like Chat GPT's interface, Bard is the interface. So
okay.
you can say it's a LLM app or Gen AI app. App is an application.
Mm-hmm.
So you are so in the text box you are putting your role. Let imagine me as a singer, write me a song about this scenario. So this is sort of an UI which is pushing the data and asking the
Uh,
getting response from the LLM model. That is the
correct.
foundation model.
In WhatsApp also you have that, no, Meta AI.
Yeah, it started right now. Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes. Yeah. So when we say transformers are basically from the NLP. When we're doing NLP, the transformers there itself. But now because of the GAN, that is the generative adversarial network, and it using the network of the neural network. So we have now more advanced transformers, and with the advent of more advanced transformers and more advanced GPU hardware, we now started training the models. Now we have a predefined models. This Llama 2 is there. Then there is Klana is also there. So there are multiple models out there, but then they are costly. It's not. It means all not all company can create those models because it's cost a huge. So
hmm.
any question on this? So it's
No,
good
I
to
am
know.
good, good. So it was Sam Altman, Jayant.
Yeah.
Sam Altman. So he was fired from OpenAI, and then again now he came back as a CEO. Earlier he was
Oh,
not a CEO of OpenAI.
okay.
It was, I think, there were a like it was a bunch of a group of all these big shots, right?
Okay.
So I
Right.
think something happened with Elon Musk and all. He fired him, and then it was taken by Microsoft or something, and then he made him the CEO of this OpenAI. This is the kind of a story out here.
Hmm. Right. Right. Right.
Hmm.
Definitely. Okay. So in this slide, it's sort of a little bit more technical. What I was saying, like what we have done till now. It's a breakdown on what are the things. Like if you see here, whenever we say Gen AI, Gen AI, like how Gen AI works. So if we have some kind of an Gen AI projects, so what things go on in the back, in the picture, right, in the background. So we have the data science. What do the data science means? Now means, see, we have the data from everywhere. We have the documents, we have the PDFs, we have the CSVs. Now the CSV, the PDFs are not matching to means the data that we want to really have. That maybe they have numerous columns which are not required actually. So what we do, we filter those data, right? We churn out, we do all this processing of this data, or maybe use some kind of a mathematical function to create the percentage or create the cumulative interest, or something like that. So we have to do some processing before the data looks meaningful to us, before we put the data to the big data or machine learning. So this particular area is called data science, where we can use Python modules. Like Python modules have developed so much. NumPy is there, Panda is there. Then there is a Matplotlib is there, where we can create all this mat graphs. Then there Sci-Fi is there. So we have numerous modules in the Python, so which can do this processing, or we can do with the R as well. But R is not matured enough as compared to Python. So this is an area where we do this all this data churning. So once that we have the data churning, we have this machine learning. What we do in the machine learning. Machine learning uses big data, Spark, Hadoop that I said. It gets in, absorb all the data, and then it uses some kind of a based on the pattern of the data. It try to classify the things, right? It classify the images. For example, let's say you have a cat image. You ask the system like what this image is, so it will tell you the images of cat or images of a dancing wolf. So it will try to recognize the things. It will do your biometric recognition, things like that, right? So then it started also using analysis, predictive analysis. Based on the patterns, it will try to predict something. It will tell you that maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, you will do this thing or that thing, or the company would rise or fall based on
Hmm.
the pattern, last 15 years patterns that we see in our stock market as well. They give us a
Hmm.
prediction, right? So these
Correct.
are all coming from the machine learning area. Then we have deep learning. What deep learning does is use neural network. It identify and analyzes data and creates a pattern and recognize a pattern. It recognizes a pattern to create some kind of an keywords. It plays around with the keywords. It sees some meaningful insights into the keywords. Then try to correlate all the. It's sort of a map network. If you see a map network, point A is connected with maybe multiple points. If I from point A to point B, there may be multiple lines from B to Z, or B to X, or B to Y. So these are all connecting the things and getting the data, meaningful data to us. So generative AI is actually having all these components. So when I was going through this slide, so this is just an area. When we say that, I just wanted to put this slide because it will tell us like what, when we say what is data science, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, we know at what level we are talking right now in the generative AI, correct? So this is that's why I put this slide here. Any question on this slide?
So one thing, Jayanth. So Gen AI
Mhm.
points to all three, or it's only points to machine learning?
No, sir. So it's sort of an evolving, right?
It's
So when I
evolving,
say
correct?
right, so when I say Gen AI is getting the data from LLM model, the LLM model is getting updated. When it gets updated, it's getting the data from data science. The data science is putting the data. Then the machine learning is doing something, creating the patterns. The neural network is doing something. Then the particular transformer is updating the data from. So it is getting the data from these three phases. So once the
Ah.
data is there, then using transformers and the GAN to create the things. Now,
Hmm.
when we say Gen AI, so let me. So what? So with Gen AI, we can create text, videos, images. we can evaluate, right? Means if you put something in the chat GPT and it will tell that it will for example, let's say you put your question there and it gives you a response, then you say that I don't like this response. So it will evaluate it, reevaluate his own response and try to reformat and represent create a new response. So this reasoning to question itself, because of this GAN and the transformers, it
Generator, yeah.
yeah. So that's how it can fine tune the things, right? I mean,
Hmm.
if you if for example, let's say if they give you a solution, you can say I want a plan B. What's the plan C? What's the plan D? So it will give you a multiple solution to it.
Hmm.
So this is how it creates. So when we say LLM model, so LLM model is the definition that I put here. So what this model is doing is the model is using the data which is being stored, combining the information, and then writing out to some audio or creating a text or creating a video using this called a large language model. Okay, so OpenAI is a large language model. So OpenAI uses text transformers to create ChatGPT. So there are video transformers are there, the audio transformers are there. So they are the different transformers are there. Okay, so
Hmm.
transformer is also one of the component of GenAI.
Hmm.
Okay, any questions? Um, am I going in the right direction, or because I see GenAI is a vast concept, because I don't want to go to the programming and do the stuff without you guys know why and where it started and why it is being used, how it is being used. So until unless you know the concepts clearly, then we can go forward and start. I can show you the code right now. I am creating my own LLM app. I can show you that, but I don't think it's the right time. Maybe in a couple of more sessions we can go through that.
By
So
using
right now,
prompts, by using prompts.
yeah. Uh,
Okay.
you want to see?
No, no, no. At the end for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I will
No,
show.
no, no. We want
Okay.
to see if
At
that's
the
in
end,
scope.
at the end 5 minute. In the end for 5 minutes, we'll see. So that
Okay.
whatever the people have means, I'm not sure, but they will
Hmm.
get refreshen up after that.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to push hard and try to complete everything. It's just the PPT slide is there. We can have another multiple sessions on this.
Mhm.
And until unless we are clear, we understand what we are trying to see, what trying to understand. I don't think it's worth doing that going fast. So that's why I'm taking a little bit time. So probably you can say that you can go fast or go slow. But from my perspective, I'm think that maybe the speed that I'm right now working on maybe is good enough for you to understand. And if I'm fast, then let me know, and then I can go a little bit slow also.
You were good, Jayant. We were just looking forward to see these LLMs. And as you mentioned that you were working on something, it made us a bit curious to see. And I personally I'm looking forward to understand that part. That if we have to make some sort of like element our own, then what is needed in the background. Yeah, but you are
Yeah.
good on pace, I think.
Okay.
That's what
Thanks.
I feel.
Okay. Okay. So having said that, I have put my value idea. If you see my value idea, what I have written in the value idea, I have written that uh, since it is recorded, I want to put the name and the name of the project. So in our project, if you all know, we have the data scattered. We have the Jiras, we have the Confluence. Sometimes when we, for example, let's say I was doing in one of the migration project, but then for each and everything, I used to spend around half an hour to just to find the where is this one, where is that one. All the information is scattered here and there.
Mhm.
Though they are making efforts to put it in the Confluence, but there is still their data, their code, there are information which is missing are here and there. So what I proposed in my value idea is that maybe we can have some kind chat GPT type of interface where we put the information and let's say I want to find some information regarding my project. Can you give me the code, or can you give me the Jira information? That chat GPT type LLM app which we can build, it will give us the customized information regarding our project only. It is not looking up and getting the result from multiple or from the net. It is a customized LLM app model. It is gathering the information. It is where we are putting the data of all the dumps, like for the Jira dumps, from the Git dumps. It is putting all the dumps. Then we getting the response from there. So that was
Hmm.
my idea. So probably we can talk
No.
about it
So
later.
probably looks like going forward, no, or all search would be replaced by these things, huh?
Correct. See, right now Microsoft, you have done in the Outlook also. Now, if you work in a Word or work in a PPT, this Copilot will be always there.
Correct,
So
correct,
this,
correct.
so it will be there. Okay. So this is the one slide which I want to talk about, because I don't want you guys to be confused. Like, what is machine learning? What was the classic machine learning was doing? Now, what is GenAI is doing? So classic machine learning is that it was doing a specific task. For example, let's say I ask my machine learning model. It's not a model actually. I ask my machine learning program that to identify this picture. So it will classify an image and will tell you that it's a cat, or it's a elephant, or it's a human being. So this is doing just one task, right? Whereas GenAI is doing multiple tasks. It is identifying, classifying, predicting, and also creating a movement as well, right? It's a multiple task, right? So this is one difference. Then there's another difference is that it it interprets the image as like it will label an image, like it will label the image like, this is the image of a cat, this is the image of a forest, this is the image of some kind of a temple. But here in GenAI, uh, it will create an image, it will create some kind of an description as well. So it is more descriptive. You can give your own description, or it can create your own it can create its own description. So in machine learning, when we converse with the machine learning, it is sort of very rigid. Let's say in the NLP as well, it will ask you, press 1 to do this, press 2 to do that, right? In GenAI, what is GenAI doing? GenAI is doing is talking to you like a friend. Hey Siri, call me, do an appointment for this is date, right? Or Google, do something. So is what is doing is sort of the approach is very friendly. It's not rigid. Machine learning, it was rigid. It is one sort of, when it was asking some specific pattern of questions, it will accept only a specific pattern of answers only. But in
Hmm.
GenAI, its interaction is very human like. Okay.
Hmm.
In machine learning, we have the model is still there, means the database is there. Machine learning also has some kind of data set. When we say data set, is all data, right? But it is limited. But in Gen AI, it's unimaginable data that has been trained on. We don't know how much volume has been data has been trained. So that is one limitation, or you can say one difference is there. So the
Hmm.
examples is some kind of predictive analysis was in machine learning. Then we used to do image classification. Then we used to do recommendation, like this Google advertisement in your browser. This is also machine learning only. This is not Gen AI. So it was understanding your browser clicks. Then it suggested, then it suggested something like, you should have this information or this advertisement in your browser page only. Whereas in Gen AI, it is flexible. It means you do ask, play around. It's not sort of a friend. You will never be alone with Gen AI or Chat GPT or things like that. You can create your own house. Like, if you have click a photograph of your bedroom or dining room and say that I want to decorate this house with the Victorian type of makeover. It will create a Victorian type of makeover, something like that. It will play around on these things. So this is the basic difference between the machine learning, classic machine learning, and the Gen AI, which I want to touch base on, so that everyone is clear. Because see, means I have also gone through many Gen AI discussion and forums, but frankly speaking, um, frankly speaking, many of them means they were talking something which is not related practically. Then you would understand, and then you are midway, you are lost. So that is the reason I came up with the topics, or came up with the bullet points, that so that I'm able to understand what I understood. I want to make this understand as well to you as well, so that we are all in sync. Okay. Okay. uh, so there are opportunities and threats as well. So threats, like you've already seen, we can do faking the news, faking information. When we say contents, too much dependencies there in the contents. Creativity is lost. And now we don't need a songwriters. We can create the songs on our own, right? So creativity is lost. On the good points, yeah, we are enhancing our creativity. We are improving our performance. If we are using Gen AI based programming language, or we what we do, for example, let's say I'm working on Terraform project. I don't remember every Terraform code, right? Means I know, means the Terraform works like this, but sometimes I go to the reference page, things like that, right? So what I do is, if I have some kind of a sort of an a help which will give me some, it will generate the code. It will make the work faster, and also improving my efficiency as well, right? The output which I'm putting in, output which I'm getting after 2 hours is much more than what I used to do earlier. So these are the good points, right? These are the opportunities. This we cannot see as a threat. But yes, having said that, we have the threats. Means you can say socializing is becoming less. We are too much dependent upon things like that. Then we have this fake news, fake videos, and then there is a it means we have the chat gpt, still there are a few concerns, like uh, the privacy of the data. Means now chat gpt has all the information of everybody. We can put the data, like I have my medical information, I put my data in the chat gpt. Now what happens? Who are the audience, who can view? Do we have some kind of restriction? Do we have some kind of permissions? These are still debatable. So that is the reason uh, things are getting worked on the security point of view. So if you see the next point, the concerns are there, right? The black box. What I told about the black box. Black box is the brain. We don't know how this pattern matching has been done. We can debug till at one point, but after that we just get the response. We don't know how it is being done, right? So this complexity is technical, definitely is humongous, right? It's very difficult for one person to understand all the flow from scratch to end. The security, I already told you, the privacy is a security issue is there. And adversarial attack, like if some malicious data is input, for example, let's say my data itself is wrong. Like I say that the Taj Mahal is in Pakistan. Okay, I input the model in like that, so it will give me a malicious response, right? It is the
Uh,
it can give, if it pose a problem, it can make lead to wars as well, right?
so
So
right,
these
right,
type of
right. So
data.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
So Jen, sorry for interrupting here. Can we come to that either code or some thing to see in ChatGPT, some prompt and all, if possible? You have is
Yeah, let
if
me.
something is there
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see some prompts or see something, right? Because developers mainly want to see their code running rather than reading, right? That makes them more creates more interest out there.
Yeah, let me share my screen then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is one simple code. So what it is doing, it is using the OpenAI. So when it is doing the OpenAI, I created an account in OpenAI. So if I click on this, and this is OpenAI key, encrypted key for my login is getting authenticated. I'm using LangChain. I have not come to LangChain yet, so that's why I was skeptical to showing the code. I don't want to confuse the people here. I will come up to that. What is LangChain? So LangChain is just, I will give you just one line. LangChain is using an OpenAI LLM model. It's a sort of a framework. It's an orchestration framework for our. So it is using OpenAI model, and then it's making connection to this LLM model. Now I have the LLM model here, right? Then this is my prompt. Okay. So what prompt do you want, sir? Tell me. What is the question you want to ask?
Team, anyone? Kunalan?
Yeah.
How can we make ourselves happy? Okay. Ah, not defined. Oh, sorry. That is the reason.
Put sad in place of happy. Let's see. Arey,
See, sir.
response is there, yaar.
Yeah. Focus
So
on the
can
positive aspect of your life and be grateful what you have done. Engage in activities you enjoy.
can we ask
This,
any light question also?
Aha,
definitely,
any
sir.
sort of.
So can you ask how will be the appraisal this year?
You
For his,
ask.
for his
What?
Kapila. For his Kapila. Make it more concrete, right?
So yeah, this is just a very simple, basic Chat GPT code. Okay, so we can work on that. So we have used some libraries there. Python code is there. So once we start doing it, you will understand like how we can
Acha,
using
so
it.
so
How
it's using ChatGPT's API, Open API. I mean Open
yeah
APIs,
yeah
right?
yeah 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 yeah.
Hmm.
It is using it. Okay, so you can say uh, when,
You need internet ready for this, right?
yeah yeah yeah.
Hmm.
Is it open source or we to pay something for this?
For
For this
for
API
this
key?
response, I am paying.
Okay, and to get the subscription key, sorry, open API key for that.
Yeah. Yes.
So Jan,
No, not for the OpenAI key, for this
Mm.
response.
Okay.
so Jan, for this Jupyter Labs, have you installed Anaconda on your laptop, or it's web Anaconda is also available? So which one you're using?
Anaconda only.
Web.
I'm using
No,
poetry. I'm using Py and I poetry. Okay.
no. I mean
So
it's installed on your laptop, right? That's why you're calling
yeah
localhost.
yeah 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 yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See.
Aha,
Because
obviously, yaar.
no, so just I mean just it's quite heavy, and there if you get a configuration issue, then it takes time to resolve. So Anaconda online server, which can be used to run your notebooks, is also available. So I preferably use that.
Uh, uh, Whatever means if you're comfortable means I'm downloaded in my see it's up to you. I means you are making a call to the API key. Once you get the API key right, you are authenticating yourself to API and API. Then you fill in any jargon here, whatever prompt you get right. So I don't think it's a heavy here. I'm not saving something here. I'm just making a
Mhm.
call. It's an API call actually. So I don't
So
think
the
it will be an
data,
issue.
so the data that we provide, I mean, it has to be something around what kind of questions we want to ask.
Anything, yeah. I just ask you anything, right? I put anything here.
And
This is a very basic
uh,
one, right?
Nim,
This is
Nimet,
the LLM model.
can you be on mute? Yeah. Just a second. Nimet, can you be on mute?
Vivek, हाँ,
There is
he's
some
he's
background.
he's on mute now.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Jayant.
See, this is the LLM model.
Hmm.
ChatGPT model. So I was not in
Uh,
favor of showing you right now because it will confuse you.
yeah,
That's why I wanted to show you. I
yeah.
will
So
come up to this.
my very basic question that I had was like, for example, like uh, if a company wants, you know, that people should search information only for them. So, I mean, what kind of data do they provide to this model related to their company so that,
I
you
will
know, the
come up to the
questions
next session
evolve?
here. I haven't. I will tell you
Okay,
in the next session because I don't want to confuse the audience here because these are all for the next session because that is the reason I don't want to show you this code right now. because I
Sure,
was
sure.
see for anything you need to learn some basic. At least you need to have create some kind of a base here before you do something, right? So that is the reason I was
Sure, sure.
putting a little bit theory. I was stressing more on the theory part in the first session.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we will as on we will go, we will show and we
So,
understand.
would it be possible, like, if you can, prepare a kind of a hands-on document or something, so that people can start from installing this Anaconda to,
So
there are
so
many people who don't know
so
Python
a
also, so they can
so
copy the script here. Hmm.
so Ace,
We
why
have put
don't
in
you
Chat
work
GPT,
along?
yeah, Chat GPT,
Why
yeah,
don't
Chat
you?
GPT.
So Ace, why don't you work along with Jayant on this?
No, it's
Sir, I
difficult,
was
sir,
just asking for.
because I it's
Hi, so
difficult because
so you work along
so
with
I
Jayant
am
on
working
this.
in my personal laptop, so it's on my personal time I do. So basically, after office hours I do on also
So the
weekends, so it's
correct,
difficult to
correct.
coordinate. So it's difficult to do in the official laptop. So also, if you have
Hmm.
any questions, put it in Chat GPT. If you say how can
I,
I install
no, I got that.
poetry,
I
right?
got that.
So you will have the steps. So
So
you will
Yeah,
Jayant,
that's
I
fine. No, you're not getting me. I'm basic. My question was around, like, for example, if some people who are new to Python, or who don't know, like, like, LangChain, Python, it looks like. So those who are new to Python, can they also easily, set up these models and everything?
yeah. See, yeah, means it's a will you to do it, right? It's not that
Hmm.
if your will is there, then it definitely means definitely you need to put in hours. Definitely you need to burn the oils, right? You cannot
Hmm.
just see everything in a ready-made everything. I can present a document, you do it. It is not the case right here, right? It's
Hmm.
a little bit more than that. So you put your effort here. You understand the modules. You step by. That is the reason I was doing step by step, right? So